Hello, guys. Cobra Commando here, the voice of the NLGE. We have Tommy, aka T Noose.
Welcome, everybody.
We have Nasty, who dropped in, unfortunately. Uh, and then we have Danheater, who is a returning member from season one and will be taking up ownership. Another thing we'll be talking about in this podcast is a couple of the rule changes, just various things that I think people need to know. They're also up on the site as well. So we'll throw it over to Noose, who's going to do a little bit of an interview here with Danheater, just to just to explain, because he's been gone for a while, so some people might not know him, and for people who are new to the league, they know one of the owners that might be willing to draft him, because Danheater is scouting now, and he is looking for players, committed players. All right. So, Tinius, I'll throw this over to you, buddy. I'm trying to figure out how to get this thing off where I don't think I could do it. All right, go ahead, Nish.
All right, well, first things first, Dan, welcome back to the NLG.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Glad to be here.
From what I understand, you were gone for a little while. What's in season one?
Yeah, I took a little bit of a break. Obviously, when you guys first started off, it was a little rough. Not that I didn't like it. There were just obviously some other leagues here that were a little bit more up and running, and I decided to do that. And then, lo and behold, I'd say probably when you guys started season 3 or about season 3, I switched over to NHL 15 on the Xbox One and kind of got hooked. Wanted to learn the new gameplay because I knew that when 16 came out, we started doing this again. Obviously, you're going to need to have some skill to play because switching over from NHL 15 on the 360 is just completely different. So I thought, what the hell? I'll give it another try here, and we'll see what happens.
Well, on that note, I'll just ask you real quick. What do you think the biggest differences are between NHL 15 and NHL 16, especially when it comes to changing, playing the gameplay as when it comes in terms of a league's play? What do you think the biggest differences are?
Well, the biggest differences that I saw, obviously, when you played 15, I obviously thought that 15 was a little bit of a way faster paced game. I thought that the hitting was way over dramatic, and I think they really toned that down and got it right in NHL 16. The one thing I did learn from NHL 16, which is what I kind of did when I played Hut in 15, was that when you go on the power play, cycling the puck works. And the problem is a lot of guys that play these top 100 clubs and stuff, that's what they do. They pass. That's how they win games. So when you play a lot of these clubs, whether it's in league or not in league, a lot of these guys wonder, like, oh, man, we're not winning. Like, why aren't we winning? Well, you're not going to win if you just try to have one guy come down and, try to snipe all day. It doesn't work like that. Hockey's a team sport.
So would you say that your experiences with NHL 15 on the Xbox One has helped you prepare for this draft specifically?
No,
Because I'm sure your draft psychology and for this one is much different than it was in the prior last time you were an owner.
Oh, absolutely. If we go back to the 360 days here for a bit, I would say that the only thing, and my problem was back in the day was, I was that kid who wanted to put 8, 9 goals in. I felt like I needed to be the best player on the ice at all times. And I realized even when you switch to 15, if you're just playing, for fun in a versus, you got to cycle the puck. And that's the number one thing, and that's the thing I'm looking for this year when I go to draft is guys that are puck possession players, guys that like to cycle from behind the net, give it to the point, guys that want to shoot from the point, guys that aren't afraid to shoot from the point is the big reason, because a lot of those guys, they get the puck and they're like, oh shit, no one's ever passed to me on the point before, like what the fuck do I and a lot of guys need to realize that it's okay to have those goons out there that just want to sit in front of the net and get those tipping goals and those garbage goals. And that was something you didn't really see on the 360. The 360 was about creating your own guy. Everyone wanted fucking 99 speed. Everyone wanted 99 reverse shot, and they wanted to come in and snipe top shelf. And with the goalie animations and all the things that they fixed in the recent games within 15 on the 1 and 16 here, you really can't just come down and snipe anymore. It's all about team play, and that's the one thing I'd say I noticed the most is definitely team play and puck possession and working the puck around.
And now you come in and you're taking over Columbus. You want to speak a little bit about your team, your management, just how prepared you are at this point in the preseason to go forward.
All right. Well, like I said, I'm Danheater. Obviously, for guys that don't know me, I'm the owner of the Columbus Blue Jackets. I would say a big reason of picking my staff, one of the players who's an exceptional player, I am Dubs 45. Now, if you ask anyone that's in this league, I don't think anyone's going to tell you, oh, fuck, yeah, he's top player. No one knows who he is. No one knows who he is, but I know who he is. That's what's important to me. And he's one of those guys that even in the old games played the game the right way. Get in front of the net, get bodies in front, deflect pucks, score those garbage goals. A lot of people don't realize, it's all about sniping and fucking going glove and looking flashy. It's not what it's about anymore. You got to pass the puck around, and that's one thing I noticed with him. His game has never changed, and it doesn't matter if we switch over to 16 or if we put 15 back in. I know he's going to play the right way. He's going to play the same way he's always played, and I could see him as a potential 30, 40 goal scorer this year. Now, as for Reaper, Reaper is my GM, and Reaper is – I don't even want to play against him. That's how good he is. He's one of those guys where he's going to let you have the wall, and then he's going to put you in the fucking wall. That's one of those things that you don't see as much.
We have a new nobody else joined the call. What's going
Okay, so that
on?
was weird.
Well,
Neil, you just joined and disconnected our guest.
Sorry about that, guys. We'll see if we can get him back.
Yeah, let me send him an invite right now.
I had a question. Is his
So nasty and
management
fucking say
Reaper?
What was the question?
Is his management PGH Reaper, the lefty?
No. PGA Reaper, I believe, is the owner of Tampa Bay.
Oh, I was gonna say he said the defense that puts people in the wall. I was like,
Hey,
that ain't-
Neil.
I'm sorry?
Neil, could you mute your mic?
Me? Sure.
Oh, well, that was embarrassing.
You talking about New York? Okay.
Yo, Dominic, you're going kind of sideways, bud.
Yeah, I had to switch to my
All right.
iPhone because
So we have Danheater back. Do you remember where you were? What you were saying?
my iPad died.
Yeah, you were talking about putting Reaper putting somebody into the wall. If you want
Like I was saying, Reaper's one of those guys that, again, I don't think a lot of people are going to know. And if I say, oh, Reaper, everyone's going to go PGH Reaper. No, it's not PGH Reaper. It's Reaper 0851. And you're going to know who the fuck he is this season. That's all I got to say on that.
Okay. So the team's looking pretty good so far?
In my opinion, yeah. I mean, a lot of guys in these leagues, you guys are going to look at my lineup and go, he'll finish with Buff. But it's not going to happen. I don't see us playing like that. We're going to be a hard-nosed team. We're going to be a good puck-moving team. And I think that's going to catch a lot of teams off guard.
All right. Well, I guess on that note, from last season's first pick, I guess I'm right to ask this. Since you can't pick me first this season, do you have anybody in mind, or do you know who you're picking first?
I got a bit of an idea. I think it's always smart. I'm not going to give away my pick, but I am going to say it's most likely going to be a goaltender. Goaltenders are going to be a crucial part of this game this year. Obviously, we all know. I don't know if any of you guys played net, but they did change up the goalie style this year. And I think the problem that a lot of guys are going to have this year, and it doesn't matter if you have a really good team, if you don't have a guy back there being the goaltender that he needs to be and making those big clutch saves, you're not going to win any games. I don't care if the score is 1-0 or if the score is 15-0. You need a guy back there that's going to be able to stop the puck, and I think we have that.
You think you're set with your first round pick, or you think you might move it?
Oh, that is a good question. Me and my owner, me and my GM and my AGM actually have been talking about that. There is a possibility of, like I said, we are new and we don't know a lot of the players that I'm sure most of you guys know, and there could be a potential, Columbus first and third for someone's later first and second. We don't know. Only time will tell. And obviously, we all know the draft is on Sunday, so if it's going to happen, it's going to happen either tonight or tomorrow.
All right. Well, thanks, and welcome back to the league, and good luck to Columbus this season.
Thanks, News. Really appreciate it.
Go over
All
you
right.
back.
Yeah, I'm back. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on the show. We always encourage all the owners and management, if they want to be part of the podcast, to voice their opinion and to let us know, and we'll definitely try to include them. Now that we have Neil here, Neil Rambo. I wanted to talk about something here, Neil. You sent me a voice clip. Was that voice clip of the XOHL podcast? I don't know if Neil can hear me.
He would need to unmute his mic too.
Yo, Neil. I don't. This is the problem with trying to run a podcast, and
Yes,
there we
that
go.
was only a clip of the podcast.
Oh, that was a clip of the podcast? Oh, you can keep your mic unmuted right now. I know it's loud outside. So one thing I think is important, that us smaller leagues, especially now being that there is no lobbies anymore and getting the word out about league has become harder. I think it is important that oh, Neil disappeared. All right. Well, he sent me a video clip or voice clip of the XOHL podcast, and here I'll play it for you guys. Just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. This is the XOHL promoting in our league in their podcast.
Ranger in NGLE? Yes, you are, and you're going to be playing every game just because of the comment the one guy said in the podcast last night. I missed that. What was the comment? I tried to listen to it. He said, I don't know, whoever picked you up last year, he kept you on it was a TC or ECU, and he never called you up and he kept you there all year. And he said he thinks that's the reason why you're kind of mad at that league. But I said, don't worry, you'll be playing every game. Was I?
Can you guys hear that all right?
Yeah, that came in pretty good.
Okay, all right, I'll continue it.
I was more mad than anything. But it's all good. I'm looking forward to a new season over there, and we'll throw a catch out to NGLE. They do play earlier games than us, so I have no problem promoting them. I think you guys are, 7 and 8 over there? No, we're actually 8 and 9. Yeah, so that works perfectly. If you're looking for another league to play in, 8 and 9, because as you guys know, we're a late night league here, so I have no problem promoting those guys. Legacy and Cobra Commando, good dudes. Their website's very pretty and sexy. They're working on it every time. So yeah, go and sign up over in NGLE. NGLE, I'm saying that right. If you're looking to if you want to play some hockey for 4 hours a night, sign up there. Come play here. It's all good. I think they used to be a sister league of the IOHL, correct? Yes, they used to be a sister league of that, but I don't think they're really even.
Okay, so I'll cut it off there. But if there's anyone who has a misconception that we are the sister league of IOHL, what the fuck is wrong with you? One, why the fuck are we the sister league? Why wouldn't it be the brother league? That kind of tripped me up. But no. Big shout out to XOHL for mentioning us in their podcast. When they, hopefully they get the name right next time. But if you guys are looking for a late time league to join, they play 11 and midnight some nights, I think,
Yeah,
and then Sunday they play
10 and
earlier.
11 on Sundays. 10 and 11 on Sundays, 11 and 12 every other night till Wednesday.
All right, okay. So big shout out to them.
Jake says hello.
Jake said, "Fuck you."
What? I didn't hear that.
I think it was Noose's roommate.
Something about fuck you, Cobra. That's all I heard.
Yeah. That's what everybody says, so it's all good.
Yeah, well, he's a little bitch. He doesn't even show his face.
Oh.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Those are some fighting words right there.
All right. It's nice to have you on the podcast, Danheater. Let's see you later. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, somebody else joined too, Cobra.
Yeah, I think that's Debo, but he has his mic muted. Debo, you there, buddy?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you, buddy. How's it going?
Yeah,
Holy
I'm here.
fuck.
Hey, Debo.
I came in just to hear that little clip you played, man, and he was talking about me. So I just want to clarify that in case these guys ever watch this podcast. I was the guy he was speaking about.
That cut out a little bit at the end. Yeah, no, he was talking about you. But it is what it is. Let the past be the past, I guess. I think I have to play. Oh, I got an LG game at 9:30. They can wait. I think they want me to come back.
Cobra, I got one question here. What's the situation here on wraparounds? Because I actually did check the website today, and I did see that no for the wraparounds was in the lead now.
No for wraparounds is in the lead. God damn. Let me check that out.
I
To
know.
my knowledge, wraparounds are permitted, but they're limited.
I thought we were taking a vote on it. That's the only reason why I was asking.
Yeah, there was a vote.
I mean, I'm not an owner, so I'm not privy to that kind of thing. I'm just telling you what last I heard.
Yeah, you're also not a first-round pick, right, News?
Oh, fuck yeah,
Not
dude.
this year, nor am I a commissioner.
DJ Treason isn't in this bitch.
The goddamn shame.
Yeah, there's Debo right there.
Come on, Nasty. You know you asked me what I was doing.
Wait,
You're like,
I asked who?
See,
You asked me a while ago.
Dude, I asked you that for like the 10th round pick. I don't know what you're talking about.
see, here's the funny thing about the vote, Danheater. If you look at it, and it's our fuck up mostly. I'm echoing by someone's mic. All right,
Nope,
thank
nah,
you.
nah.
There.
Hey, Neil, I like your shirt.
Oh, is Neil back?
Yeah, I'm back.
He's got his Team USA soccer shirt on right now.
Oh yeah, jacket.
Thing's sweet. Look at that fucking beard, guys. That thing's brolic.
Yep.
All right, well, now that we got Neil back,
I was in the car.
and I'm still echoing through someone's mic. I don't know who's. Neil, is that your mic I'm echoing through?
No, you're not echoing through my mic.
Here, mute your mic for a second.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. Mute your mic for a second. I want to see something.
Okay.
All right, am I coming through? See, now I'm not echoing. Neil, damn it, is yours, man. You gotta plug your headphones in, or else it echoes.
I don't have my headphones with me tonight.
All right, I guess we're dealing with an echo then. So I played the clip you gave me, and I just gave a shout out to XOHL. But there's a couple things I noticed. One, you guys called us the sister league of the IOHL. Not only do I find that very insulting, why are we the sister league and not the brother league? Like, why does it have to be, like, why we gotta be sisters about it?
I believe the exact wording was, it sounded like a conversation between two people, and one of them said they were talking about NLG, and they said, I believe they used to be somehow a sister of IOHL, but they never actually came out and said we were related in any way.
Yeah.
If you listen to it again.
I guess you could take that away from it. But anyways, so we gave him a shout out. And we have Debo here, the guy who had Laquara on his TC. He's not talking right now.
Well, I am talking. I'm right here. I had to unmute. I just want to clarify on that. Lacara, yes, he did sit, but he played on our
Hello?
age.
You disappeared?
Can you hear me? This is fucking stupid. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify as far as Lacara goes. He did play for our AHL team. I did not call him up to our NHL
All
team.
right. Anyone else have anything else to add to this before we end it?
I do. I got a question for Debo.
Go ahead.
This is from Donnie. What are you gonna do without Sanctify? You knew that was coming, didn't you? You knew it was
Hey,
coming.
look, I'll put it to you like this: not having Sanctify is definitely a blow to our team. Sanctify, I've already went through this. He single-handedly has won games for us.
Can you guys hear him? Because I can't.
Yeah, I can hear him.
He's definitely hard to replace. But
Oh, let me know when he's finished talking, because I can't hear him.
having said that, I'll have you tell Donnie when he gets the rings on his finger like we have, then he can question me like that. So up until that point.
Just to defend Donnie, just wait till the season.
The one thing I would say for everyone in here, and you can answer it or you can not answer it, but what teams do you see striving this year, and then what teams do you think are going to be on the decline?
I got this. LA's going to be on the decline. Nashville and St. Louis are going to be on the incline, obviously.
But what about the East, though? Because all you talk about is the West.
Well, that's all that matters. The East, the East, I'll say Columbus. You guys actually have a great core. I know who I Am Dubs is. I know who Reaper is. I know who you are. Also, Tampa's actually pretty good with Evo and stuff. Washington's going to be decent at Buff Sniper, but when playoffs hit, it's going to be over for them.
Yeah, that's one thing I did find. I've known Buff for years. And I don't want to discredit his management skills. I think he does a great job. The one thing I will say though, playing in leagues in the past with him though, is that I do see that he tends to go for guys that he just considers so-called friends. And that's one thing I've learned playing through leagues is that although you have friends and you have buddies that play this game, friends, if you guys don't have the chemistry, friends aren't going to win you games.
The club score.
And that's one thing I did notice. I played with him. I played on his team for at least 3 or 4 seasons, and it seemed like it was the same guys coming back and coming back and coming back and coming back. And, you almost start to question it and say, are we ever going to win?
Yeah, I can also add to that. Me and I'm just a squid. Me and him were like rivals last year, like the season 3, and then we signed him. Like, I don't think anybody's seen that coming. But he's the best player in the game, hands down. So.
Yeah, looking at the teams, I'll just give my opinion here too. Off the jump, I would, I'd have to say that the West is probably going to be a dogfight. You got some really good teams there. You got some really good ownership. You have St. Louis coming back. They signed Howie. They signed Grazer, who I think are 2 great signings. I don't know much about Tons of Fun. Dallas, I don't know too much about. I do know CB Chuckles. I played with him in LG. And the Kings are going to be tough. They're always tough. Even without, Nasty's made them even harder. But, they're going to be tough. Kong's going to field a good team. And you have Nashville now with Nasty there, and Apocalypse, Squid, so they're going to be strong. You got Crazy Ape, who's a good management guy, so he's going to put together a good team. Fizz, he puts together great teams, and you got our team that I think we're going to be pretty tough. So I think the West is going to it's anybody's ball game. I think it's going to be a rock'em sock'em freaking season. As far as the East concerned, you have some experienced owners, like you said. You got Buff, you got Spliff out there, you got PGH Reaper, all know how to put together teams. And then you got the I don't want to say new guys because you guys have been around, but you got Dan out there in Columbus. It looks like he's going the right direction. I think Chris Letang's a good signing. You got Neil Rambo out there. I don't see any of his signings on here, so I can't speak to them. I don't really know much of his management, but I think the East is a little bit less. You have lesser known guys, but you never know. Sometimes those are the ones that can come out and do things that nobody expected.
Yeah, and that's actually a really good point. Because, from podcast to podcast, I've been watching, and and I hate to say it because I don't want to sound like an asshole here, but it's constant. If I have to hear one more fucking thing about St. Louis, I'm gonna fucking flip out.
Me too.
Good. We all get it. You're fucking good. Noose, you're good. We get it. All right.
You won't have to hear about St. Louis.
Hey, wait. Let me interject on that because I represent St. Louis. I have never tooted our own horn.
Nasty was saying something there. Just muted his mic. All right.
But on that point, when it comes to people
So
talking
Neil,
about
you wanna share with us some
somebody,
XOHL
no,
some
Cobra,
details?
Cobra,
Cobra, shut up.
Devo's talking.
Cobra, shut up. Omni's
Oh,
talking.
Divas. All right.
Devo's talking. Cobra can't hear Devo.
Yeah, Cobra, shut the fuck up. Let Diva talk.
I'll just make this real quick
He'll
because
tell you when he's done.
because I look at it a couple ways. I can understand when you
I'll
constantly
get
hear
him
about
now.
a certain team or whatever, it does get a little annoying. And to be honest, to answer your question as far as where I see teams go, I think it's a little too early right now to even speculate where any teams will go, because obviously everybody thinks their team's going to be the shit, and they should. But as far as when it comes to hearing about St. Louis, I'm on the fence about it both ways. The reason being is because we put a lot of time and effort to build the teams and have the success that we did. So I feel it's a little earned. But granted, we're not the ones on this mound screaming how great St. Louis is. We've never been that way. We will never be that way. We know we can get beat on any given night. We've had that proven to us season.
Legacy.
But, well, yeah, legacy. Okay, yeah, I heard that. But,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, oh yeah, you definitely heard that. Yeah.
but
No
look.
one's but Legacy's been chewing that horn. He told it today in the party with me.
Well,
But he's good. He's good. Legacy knows he's good. He's
I mean,
good.
look, at any point, and I'll shut up after this, but at any point, man, when a player is able to achieve, any player, doesn't matter if they're from St. Louis, but if they're able to achieve the things that they have, and Nasty, I'm speaking to you because you'll boast about your accolades to anybody that's willing to listen.
MVP.
You feel proud about what you have achieved, and people shouldn't look down on that, unless it's coming off in a negative fashion, which I don't think Legacy has really done. But whatever, it is what it is. I just want to have a great season. Hopefully, St. Louis is there again. Of course, we play to win, but we're not counting any teams out. It's not like we're sitting up on this pedestal like, oh, there's no teams in this league that can beat us. We know any team can beat us on any given night. So.
Yeah, I wasn't saying that you guys were tooting your own horn. Obviously, just other people around the league tend to toot your own horn for you, and that's fine. And that's fine. You guys, want to make the playoffs. Obviously, want to win the cup again, and I understand that. I understand. A lot of us want to win. That's the whole point. Otherwise, why would you play this?
Right. Exactly.
Did you use the word deflate this a few minutes ago? You said, let me deflate this? Is that because of this?
I just can't get over that fucking Flyers hat. I don't know why you're wearing that.
Let me throw it off you, man.
You messed up. So, but
all right.
no, like
Cobra,
I said,
I think Devo's done. But Dan's
I understand the West obviously is a good team. All the West teams look like they're going to be pretty good. All I'm saying is that don't count out the East. There are a lot of teams that you guys don't know about. There are a lot of teams I don't know about.
They're just quieter teams, that's all. The more well-known names are in the West.
Well, hey, can I speak on that right there? That's actually a good thing. When we start,
we good?
I just got one more thing to say.
Yet?
Yeah,
God damn it.
That's actually a good thing to be a not known team. And the reason I say that, and I know that wasn't proper English, but the reason I say that is we started off our first season as an unknown team, and everybody counted us out. And that was a benefit of ours because people would come into games and expect to have a free win, and by the time they realized they weren't going to have one, the game was already over and we won. So, yeah, I mean, that's why, like I said, we don't count any teams out. Whether they're in the West or the East, man, we're going to go out and we're going to play as hard as we can against every team. Whether that team isn't doing very well in the season, during the season, or they're doing great, you're going to get 100% of St. Louis, just like I feel every team should be. But anyway, I'll shut up now. So Cobra.
That's a great point. That's an excellent point. And every team, like you said, should strive to win. All I'm saying is, from my standpoint, being in the East, I kind of like knowing that you guys aren't, talking, chit-chatting about the East as much. It kind of boosts my ego a little bit, thinking we have a bit of a chance in the East. The beauty of playoffs here is that Columbus doesn't have to go and beat, Nashville in the first round. We don't have to go and then beat St. Louis in the second round. We don't then have to go beat San Jose in the third round or, Dallas or whoever. It makes us feel a little bit better just knowing that, as long as you guys are good with having the best players in the West, that's fine. we don't have to play till the Cup, and it's a best-of-7 series, and anyone can win. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, the East is up for grabs. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. All right, Cobra. What you got? Cobra,
stop getting high.
All right, so I know. I just want to make sure I'm good to talk now because I was just listening. I had to actually listen to the podcast on the site so I can hear what Debo was saying because for some reason it's so fucked up I can't hear him on here. So
That's what happens at McDonald's Wi-Fi.
No, I'm not even anywhere close to McDonald's, so that's implausible.
My bad. He meant Burger King.
Walmart.
Jesus, guys. Neil, I wanted to give you a chance to talk about XOHL. So here you go.
Currently, I'm on the Philadelphia Flyers. We're not doing too well because of the left defenseman that is never there.
Pick me up.
Danheater, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
All right. Yeah, I'm currently on the Philadelphia Flyers right now. Our team ain't doing too swell because of our defense, especially our left defenseman. We just, for some reason, we can't find a reliable left defenseman. So we made some trades, and we got a couple of my buddies in the team, and we're going to start doing better now. But, like, you guys were talking about my management. My GM is strictly Gator. He's probably one of the best goalies in the game, but it just doesn't show. The stats are not there right now. Shadalak, which I signed with a contract, he's a defenseman. Hattie is a right winger. Everybody plays in LG. They're in the CHL. I think our team will do good, but I'm not going to boast about my team.
Well, if you look at it though, Gators is top 20 in the league, I believe, in club, in net. So, it doesn't you don't have to talk about stats in other leagues. All you got to do is go into the club stats over there, take a look, and boom, there he is, 20th in the league, 20th in the world. And that says a lot, especially in leagues like this.
Well, right now, currently, as a defensive defenseman, I'm ranked number 18, and Hattie is ranked number, I think, top 20 for right wingers. But that doesn't mean nothing. I really don't. Those stats really don't mean nothing.
In the league.
I mean, a lot of people play twos before they actually got, points or what gets you up. But, like, stats-wise, I have over 1,000 hits as a defensive defenseman. But I don't score a lot of points. If you look at my points, I have maybe 5 goals, but I have 102 assists. So, I'm just an assist guy. I'm a big hitter. The way I built my team is around defense. That's how I'm building it. Because this game, obviously, we all know how it is right now. This game is a high-scoring game, and you need defense and you need goalie. If you don't have that, it's going to be a shit show the whole time.
Yeah, all I got to say to that is I definitely saw some of your clips in the chat box there, and if I'm coming up your side, I'm turning back right into my defensive zone because I'm not getting hit.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys ever seen any of my hit clips. I post them and everything. You know what? I pride myself on those hits. That's just something that I've always liked to do. And as a defensive defenseman, that's the way you want to play. But, in this game, if you miss that hit, you're skating in mud the whole game. It
More
sucks.
so than 15.
I mean, it
Definitely.
just seems like this game is there's so many broken things in this game that you can't explain it until they if they put a patch out for when you hit somebody, you can't pick up the damn puck, which is unreal.
You can't tie the guy up in front of the net either.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's a bitch as a defenseman. I'm a defenseman too. And I like to hit. It is hard.
It's just ridiculous the way this game is built. I mean, hopefully next year it's better, but until then, until they fix a patch or something, it's going to be a high-scoring game. I mean, and playing defense, I totally think that playing defense and goalie are the two hardest positions to play in this game.
All right, Cobra.
Yeah, adding the Neil, that's why you got to draft those early. Because they're the two hardest positions to play. And there's not many good defense or goalies, so that's why everyone's going to pick those first.
Yeah, that is one thing you will see in the draft for sure. Like I said, earlier, 15 on the 360, you were looking for snipers. This year, don't be shocked if you see 14 goalies go in the first round. It's something that could happen. A goalie is such an intricate part of this game. And I think not a lot of people really take that into consideration when they join these leagues. They think, we're just going to come in and snipe top shelf. And if you got a good goalie, it's not going to happen.
Can I put something to that?
Yeah, sure.
In the XOHL, if you look at the first, I would say the first 3 rounds, it was all defense and goalie. There was hardly any wingers. I can't remember any wingers being picked in the first 2 or 3 rounds. I mean,
That's what it was last season here. It was mostly
yeah, I
defense.
mean,
Surprising.
on our team, Gator was he was the first pick. No, the first pick. He was second or third, and I was a second round pick, and I think the third pick was on another defender, and the third to the rest were all wingers. So that's what you got to build in this game. It's just I can't explain this game. It's just weird.
Well, I think also to that, it was important when you had your 3 signings. That was your chance to pull a goalie and 2 defensemen. Then you don't have to worry about wasting your first 3 rounds on a goalie and maybe a backup goalie if you need it, and 2 defensemen. Get a solid defensive pair. And that was one thing I looked at. I saw Letang sign up for goalie. I gave him a shot in net, and we played a little scrimmage, and I put 15 up on him, and I said, you know what? I played with you before. I want you on the wing. I know you can score. You're a good passer, and that's something that I did. And then I used my other 2 picks for defense. It's about the game's about hitting and playing defense, and the saying can't be any more true about defense wins cups.
I think it's less about hitting now. You got to just be in front of your man, keep him outside. Stick lift him early. I've never used the stick lift as much as I have so far in this game.
All right. So we've kind of spent quite a bit of time here rambling, which is fine. I like it. One thing I did want to show you guys.
I want to interrupt you for a second too.
All right, go ahead.
Why the preseason schedule? Why do you match me up against Kong? I want him. I want to play against him.
We play against him.
So do I. I want to play against him really bad.
We play against you too, Nashville.
Wait, who plays against me?
Yeah, well, I think we do.
You might as well just scratch it out, dude. You don't want to play that game. I'll tell you that right now.
Calling out sick.
We're gonna give 110% every night.
Okay, well, I'm not the one who makes the preseason schedule, or the regular season schedule.
If Kong
no.
Did Kong make it?
Yeah, he does a great job with
Kong does it every season. He does a really great job with it.
Kong's scared me.
No, you know what the funny thing was? After the first season, he's like, I kind of messed up a bit on the schedule where some teams played other teams like 1 or 2 more times. And he's like, you know what, next season, just let me do this. And then, so since then, he's been doing the schedule, and he does a great job.
He does a great job with it every season.
Speedy, no, Nasty, you cannot say fuck Speedy on the podcast.
Why not? Why?
That's wrong. No, that and I kind of want to run through a couple things because I have to actually put the podcast to an end now, guys.
No, you don't. Kong, I love you. I love you, Kong.
In about 5 minutes, I gotta start my LG game here. So yeah, okay. So a couple of quick things. One, the max and minimum is still being decided between 7-3, or if we have enough signups, probably 4-3 and 3. But we'll see how that turns out. Right now, the average is we're looking at about 20 players per team, which is roughly a number that I'm comfortable with. Plus, we still have some late signups coming in. There are waivers this season. There's a call-up log and send-down log where everyone can see all your call-ups and send-downs, so no fucking around. And then, obviously, call-ups and send-downs will be disabled throughout the week. Thursday, they'll be open, and then you can send your call-up players, but waivers will apply. They won't apply the first week. First week, there will be no waivers. You can trade, you can move around your roster throughout the preseason week. But starting the regular season week, waivers are in effect, so you guys have to be careful with that.
I just had a quick question to that also. God forbid anyone's owner, GM, or AGM can't get on. Do those captains and assistant captains mean anything? Can they help run? God forbid something happens or there's an emergency or something like that. Is that being able to be used?
If we gave them the ability to call up and send down players, I think I think we don't have it set to that. Their member roles they're just for pretty much title and bragging
What about
rights.
another team?
They don't have any like actual says like call ups and send downs. No, those
Just go
they're
to
pretty
another
much.
team. Another team's management can do it for you.
What are you talking about? Another team's management?
Well, I'm saying if my team, if all of a sudden my team management's not around to do a call up and send down, then maybe I can get in touch with Dan and say, hey, listen, could you post these call ups and send downs for Calgary?
No, it doesn't work like that. Your call ups and send downs are in your roster sheet on your
Oh,
team sheet,
okay.
and only an owner of that team can see the group in that fashion, and only he can actually call up and send down. Your GM, owner, and agent, they have the ability to do that. So, no other owner is even able
All
to
right.
see
Never mind.
inside your locker room there.
But I was saying not necessarily to run anything or call up and send down, but those guys can start the games up for you.
Oh yeah, no.
And they can definitely take down stats and give them to us.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I don't even think it needs to be someone with the title. I mean, I think if you give someone that responsibility, you give them the title for that. That's a great idea. But it's not a necessity. Anyone can take pictures for you. I would ask that only management input stats, so that if there is an error or something does pop up, then we're not going who did it and having to ask like 6, 7 different people who's doing stats. So it's best to just keep that to a limited group, maybe 1 or 2 people the most. But yeah, they could take pictures for you, start the game. I mean, our lobby setup is going to be very simple. Owners are going to have to talk with each other about who to invite that game, who's going to be on, who's your lineup, and then it's just going to be. Yeah, I am going to be late. Here, so I mean, I'm like, if you guys want to keep the podcast going while I'm playing, I'm fine, but I'm pretty much done.
We're gonna do that.
Keep it going.
You're gonna do that? All right, I'll be back. You guys have fun.
Over one question.
I gotta
yeah,
say,
sure.
Before you go, is there a position lock?
No position
there's
lock.
not.
Okay, because I saw on the site that if you change your position more than once, there may
That was
include a
sorry.
$10 fee.
no. I took that. I took that down. It was more or less a joke.
Okay.
That was something by Puck. I guess he was messing with the guy because the guy just switched his position. Like I think this would be the 3rd time he's switching his position.
Okay.
So some people are abusing it.
I saw. I know what you mean.
Yeah, so that's why he posted that, but it was more or less a joke.
right,
Anyways,
thanks.
I'll be back.
Hey, yo, Debo.
What's up, man?
Also,
Alright. No, this is this honest question. You had Donnie for what, 2 seasons?
Yes.
What do you think of him as a defenseman?
Why you put me on the spot here? It's all good.
It's kind of funny.
It's all good. I think Donnie is a great defenseman. I think at times though, Donnie gets a little too worried about getting the points instead of in the defense. And like you guys were stating earlier, a D-man like that in this game, it's going to hurt your team if that's the ideas that he has when he goes out on the ice. But when Donnie's out there playing defense, he's one of the best. So if you can, if you can keep him level-headed and make him understand his job is to protect the goalie, he's the last line of defense for that goalie. He's one of the best D-men that's out there.
All right, the one thing that I want to just let everybody know is I'm probably going to be doing power rankings, weekly power rankings. What I'd like to do is announce them on a podcast or something and post them on the site. So if anybody wants to give their input, I'm more than listen to it.
I would absolutely love to do that. I would love to rave about Reaper on defense, obviously.
So I'll be looking at stats and things like that.
yeah, if you're gonna do a
Yo, I just want
podcast,
to welcome. What up, Mike?
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Mike, I'm a Twitch follower.
yeah, if you guys are gonna do like weekly podcasts, I'll join them.
Yeah, I love the fact that I don't even have to promote my own Twitch on the podcast. Somebody else does it for me.
So is there anything else that anybody wants to talk to before we wrap this?
I had a question. If any of you guys know Choose and Bruce.
I don't know.
And your opinion on him, 'cause
I do.
I've heard the name, but that's it.
he also goes by the name of Reaver. I don't know if anyone knows that guy. So we picked him up on defense. All I know, God forbid, do I know why he even signed with us, but but he seemed to build a little bit of a chatter that I did see amongst a couple teams. I know when I talked to him, he did say there were a couple teams looking at him, and we're glad to have him here. Honestly, he's another big hitting defenseman. Kind of like Neil. Probably not as many hits as Neil, and I probably wouldn't be afraid to go near him as much as I would Neil. But anyone had any opinions on? Obviously I'm new to the league and newer, and if you guys had any pointers, anything like that, or maybe guys to look out for, guys that you could see going pretty early in the draft.
Fucking Cobra.
Honestly, I think that's a tough thing to answer because it's a whole new game. I mean, guys that were really good at 15 may stink in this game. You really kind of have to scout them.
Yeah, pause the podcast.
In the
Look
new
at Cobra.
game,
Look at Cobra.
in order to see if they've made the transition to the new game. That's just my opinion.
Holy fuck.
And I think
do you have any
the
opinion?
biggest example of that are goalies, man. I mean, goalies are ridiculous in this game.
Yeah, I was a terrible goalie well, I shouldn't say terrible, but I was a so-so goalie in 15. But now in 16, I play predominantly goalie, and I'm actually pretty decent. So.
Yeah, but I remember playing.
On the flip side, I got one guy that played spectacular in 14 and 15 and cannot play goalie in 16.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean that was another thing I was going to add. I was playing against Noose on the 360, and shit, man, I didn't want to come in on a breakaway near him. I didn't want to pass, cross crease. I mean, the guy was unreal. But again, like you said, it is different. It's a new game. And I think we are going to see a lot of goalies and defensemen go within the first 5 rounds, I would say.
Believe it or not, I didn't play at all last year because I didn't like the game. I had the game for a week and got rid of it. So, I started out fresh. I didn't even play with the Xbox One last year, and I'm still having problems. I'm still adjusting, still learning.
What would you say is your biggest strength on defense, though, Neil? What do you find yourself being really good at against these top guys coming down on you?
Well,
my biggest strength is trying to stay with them. Waiting for that juke move that they always try to do before you hit them, and I'm pretty good at staying with them. It's just you have to be able to perfectly time that hit in order not to be skating in mud or missing that hit.
For me, as a defenseman, for me, it's trying to keep the guy in front of me, keep the guy on the outside. Like if you want to take the outside shot, knock yourself out. You come inside, I'm gonna hit you. Then you're gonna have to deal with me. If I
my biggest problem between 15 and 16 is the not being able to tie anybody up in front of the net.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
I can't stand that.
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
some defensemen in here. What would you say to some of the newer guys here that are just picking up the game, trying to learn defense? What would you say they need to learn first, or even for this league, what they need to learn quick and
Positioning.
learn on the spot?
Positioning.
Positioning?
Yeah,
That's what I would say.
Positioning and be able to work with the other defenseman and be able to work with your goalie.
Yeah.
And for the
Ask your goalie where do you want, how do you want me to play? Some goalies are traditional goalies. They want you as a defenseman. I'm a left defenseman. They want you to play left, pipe it up, and a little bit over.
One of the hardest things to learn as a defenseman is not chasing the puck into the corner.
Yeah.
Don't chase the puck.
Now, I've noticed the defensive guys I've played with all pinch. Every one of them. I haven't found the only defenseman I know of that plays like me is maybe Lacar or Shadowlack. But other than that, everybody I've played with, they like to go up and they try to worry about scoring goals and points. You can't do that in this game if you're playing defense. You cannot do that. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah, well, I was also going to add, for the defensemen in here, what do you guys tend to prefer to use as, offensive defenseman, defensive defenseman?
Two-way.
I know I've played defense a couple times. I don't think I'm the greatest, obviously. I find myself to be more of a passer and a goal scorer. But the one on defense, for some reason, even if you played like as a defensive defenseman, I really like the offensive defenseman based on the speed. I don't know if it is any different than two-way or defensive defenseman. I haven't really tried those out, but I do see that with the offensive defenseman, you guys really can get up on the rush and cause havoc and you know, ultimately score or make a good pass or something like that. Because a lot of guys get caught
You
off
can't make a
guard.
hit worth shit with an offensive defenseman.
Yeah, that's my big game. My
You
game
can't
is
make a
about
hit worth
hitting.
shit.
Yeah,
What about even with the two-way though?
I don't like two-way.
I like defensive defenseman.
Yes,
So much easier to make a hit at the blue line.
yes.
And then for
Totally
guys
agree.
like Nasty, what would you say for the forwards?
Grinder.
I've only seen a handful of guys use the grinder. I see a lot of guys use the two-way forwards, sniper, playmaker. And the one thing I have learned is that I think if you pick two-way as a center, you're most likely to win most of the face-offs. That's one thing I have seen. I haven't seen a lot of playmakers win face-offs and snipers win face-offs when they're in the center circle, going up against a guy with a two-way forward.
As a
Man,
left winger,
the best-
that's my secondary position is a left winger. I play grinder. He's so fast. I've tried playing two-way forward or power forward. He's okay, but he's not as fast. Grinder is the one that's fast, but his shooting sucks.
Yeah, that was the one thing. The one thing I learned, when the game came out, I got the early release. I tried it out for a bit. I tried all the positions, but for some reason, I got kind of hooked on two-way forward. I liked being able to win the faceoffs at center. I still thought I was able to deke pretty well as a two-way forward, and I still think I had pretty decent hands for a two-way forward, kind of like a playmaker, and I still felt that I was getting the shots like a sniper. So, Nasty, I don't know what you use or what you prefer, but what would you consider to some of these younger guys on first timers picking out stats and trying to figure out what they need to do to work well with their teams?
Well, it depends. I like grinder because I'm more of a rough guy. I like to not get hit off the puck. I like to get in front of the net and get tips and be able to hit on defense. Well, a lot of people like to just circle the puck around the net but I'd say two-way. If you like to circle the puck and cycle it, two-way is the best one because they have great passing, they have great hands, and they also have a decent shot on them. So that's the best offensive one. But it lacks in defense. That's why I like grinder. Grinder is the best defensive one by far.
Yeah, that was the one thing I noticed with the two-way forward. Again, like I said, I think the poke checking in the defensive zone is pretty good. I think you can get in the way of a lot of passes with that. Where other stats like sniper, I mean, you can't even hit a guy with a sniper. You kind of just bounce off of them, especially, when you get those defensive defensemen coming down. I mean, unless you're a grinder, I don't see you laying a hit on a guy like that.
Yeah, see, the way I like to hit, grinder's perfect for me if I want to play offense because you can hit. You can do everything a defenseman can do as a grinder.
But like you said, though, if you're more that goal-scoring touch or that passing touch, though, that is kind of where your weakness is, right?
Yes. Yep.
All right. Different topic. Yo, Mike, you there, buddy?
He's smoking his own.
I got a question for you.
Shoot.
You know a lot of people in the league. Who do you think is going to be the most improved this year? Just looking at people in the draft roster.
Hold on. The TV's up loud.
Yeah, I want everyone to answer that.
Dude, I can't get this thing to pause. All right, what's the question again?
All right. Out of everybody in the league that you've seen, who do you think is going to be most improved this season?
I can't answer that, man. I didn't play here last year.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, if I played here last year, I can answer that question, but because I didn't play, I have no idea who the most improved is.
Yeah. What about you? All right, Danheater, what about you? I mean, compared to season one. You played season one, so you probably know some
compared to
guys.
season one, I mean, season one was on the 360, so that, I mean, it's a totally different game. If I had to pick someone, and not to toot my team's horn or anything, but I could see Chris Letang having a good year this year.
Wait, you have Chris Letang 58 on your team?
Huh?
Chris the Tank 58.
Yeah, X58.
Yeah, he's a solid left when he's playing for you.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I played with him for a bit on the 360. I thought he was a good forward, but at the time, being the GM of a team, I didn't. I won't lie, I didn't like his play. I thought he was all about scoring on the 360. It wasn't about the passing. It wasn't about the teamwork. But luckily this year, though, I threw him in a couple scouting games, and his game is significantly improved. I mean, I can't even pinpoint the amount of passes I saw him dish to us, and it was like watching a different player almost. And I think if he gets his passing game going this year, I really do think he could be one of those guys maybe putting in 25, 30 goals and maybe 50, 60 assists. If he plays.
How many games are this season? Anybody know?
What was that?
How many games are on the total season?
I believe we said 78.
78? Alright. Well, my predictions, my most improved player, I think it's going to be Luke Apocalypse. I mean, he was a good player, but now you put him in between me and Squid, and his points per game is his skating. He's going to learn a lot more from Squid. I mean, I learn from Squid every time I see him. But, yeah, plus we got Donnie in the point. But I think you put Lou in between me and Squid, and he's going to get a lot more goals and points than us.
Yeah, I can definitely see that for sure. I don't know too much about your players, but for sure, I mean, anyone learns the pickup game and anyone learns anything from those top-notch guys, they're going to become better players. You usually don't put an average player per se and throw him with a top line and don't see him kind of produce. I mean, it's one of those things like look at the Pittsburgh Penguins this year. You put Phil Kessel on that power play, you're going to see him score more, and they don't score a lot on the power play from my knowledge from watching them. So you add some of those average players to top-notch guys that are going to be able to cycle the puck and get some things going. You can definitely see some improvements for sure.
You guys want to hear a crazy stat? You guys want to hear a crazy stat about Crosby with the Penguins? Anytime Mike Johnson's been there, Crosby's only scored 48% of the time.
Oh, God forbid it's not 95, right?
Yeah, really.
Fucking hate that crybaby. I'm sorry. I love the Penguins, man. I really do.
Whoa. Fuck you.
I like Chris Letang. I like Letang. I like
Columbus is on the top of the hit list now.
Some of those guys are good. I think Phil Kessel, I mean, even though it's early on, I think he's going to have an amazing season there. I think he needed to change.
You're saying that because of fantasy.
No, I'm just saying in general. I mean, I think he's upset that there's not a burger stand right outside the arena, but, he's going to be a good player, obviously, as always. I mean, he carried Toronto. You look, he led the Toronto with, probably most goals and most points every year he was there. And it'll be good to see if Pittsburgh does really well. I'd like to see him in the playoffs. He deserves to be there. One of those impact players.
I had a question for you. Alright. You have the first pick, so nobody can take your guy. As of right now, who's your guy?
Playmaker.
Please.
Holy fuck.
You're stuck with him.
It's tough to say. I mean,
don't give me that bullshit. Don't give me that bullshit.
Obviously, I want to try to go goalie first. There are some top-notch guys out there. I mean, I went through the list and I saw Stamkos' name out there. But, he's got a prior history of joining leagues and not being able to finish, which is always a problem. You don't want to draft a great goalie that's going to play fucking 12 games for you.
Wait, Stamkos isn't a goalie.
Well, he's on the sheet as a goalie.
What the hell? He plays defense. He's right D.
A guy that I can see us pulling off first round, maybe a guy like Diabolic Viper.
He's good.
I don't know. I just saw Neil's face, so clearly
I see it too.
I don't know who he is.
He's a defenseman, but he can play offense also. He's an all-around player. I think the only position he really can't play is goalie. But like I said, with Columbus, with guys like Reaper and Shoes and potentially Diabolic, if these guys play defense, you're going to see Columbus as a hard-hitting team this year. You know, and again, a lot of you guys don't know who we are, and I get that. But like I said, during the season, I think we're going to try to prove to you who we are and let you know who we are. You know, if I looked at other guys, I looked at a goalie, Mrazis. I don't know if you guys know him. He looks pretty solid. You know, I know a couple guys in there like Auto Show and the Pod Pipes and Pro Styles and Danks. So those are a couple guys on my list here that I can definitely see potentially going, you know, first overall. Again, it comes down to how you want to draft. You want to draft that goalie first overall? Do you want to draft that defense first overall? For us, I think we did a pretty good job in the signings getting the defense out of the way, and I think it's good to see, you know, Columbus maybe pull a goalie in the first round, or who knows? You know, draft Sunday, we can make a trade for that first round pick. It's definitely open. Definitely something me and my GM and AGM have been talking about. And if we were going to do that, we are looking to trade a first and a third. And that would definitely be for someone's later round first and their second round pick. So,
hey, you guys could thank me for bringing Pro Styles over. I got him
Pro
to sign
Styles, I
up.
played with Pro Styles basically my whole NHL career. He's an amazing player.
Wait, Pro
Dinkus signed up too. You know Dinkus?
No, I don't know Dinkus.
I know Pro Style. Oh, and
Yeah,
Dinkus?
Pro Styles and Dinkus are my owner and GM.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I played with Pro Styles. He's an excellent player. He's a healthy player.
Nashville's
Definitely.
looking forward to defense for the draft.
What'd you say?
Nashville's looking forward to defense.
You're gonna go forward to defense, not goalie?
Probably forward.
Solid on goalie?
We signed a goalie.
What about a backup
Defense.
goalie who can't show up?
Our
I'm going
AGM,
defense.
Our AGM's a solid backup goalie.
Listen, I don't want to brag or anything, but we play in the preseason and Columbus starts lighting your goalie up. You might need to rethink your draft.
You ain't gonna light up reflex.
Like I said, I know a couple of you guys in the league, but from watching Neil's fucking videos, man, I do not want to get injured in the first 30 seconds of the game from him, man. Those fucking hits are absolutely insane. I don't know how he does it.
For him to hit you, you have to touch it. He has to touch you.
Have you guys seen any of my double hits yet?
Have you seen his hit clips, bro? His hit clips are insane.
You seen my double hits?
Yeah, I've seen your double hits.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, fuck, man. If you want to talk about one guy to fear in the league, I'm gonna have to go and say Neil. I do not want to have to go down his lane.
You guys realize the way I leveled up, the way I'm prestige, I'm up to 8 now. It's been playing defensive defenseman. I don't play other position besides left wing grinder. That's how I've leveled up.
Well, what I gotta say is the best player in the draft, like out of forwards, I gotta say is
Playmaker.
Gabby. What the fuck? Are you drunk?
Gabby?
No.
Yo, I played with Gabby. Gabby's pretty good too, man.
He is a good
Super
forward.
Roger's pretty good.
But I also like Super Roger's a good forward.
Definitely see Pro.
Fucking echo.
I actually see Sir Mike Knight being the second overall draft pick.
Yo, you want to talk about something funny? I messaged Mike and I said I want to take you first overall, and he goes, "That's the biggest mistake."
Way to kill yourself, Mike.
Mike doesn't even have his headset on anymore. He has no idea what's going on.
What about
He hears us.
what about centers?
Pat just scored a touchdown, man. What do you need?
Fuck the Pats. I said I talked to you about potentially being a first
He's a
round
Buffalo
draft pick, and
fan.
you kind of stripped me off. You know.
All right, here's what I got to say about anybody who drafts me in the first round. You're dumb.
Neil, mute your mic then.
Oh yeah, sorry.
There are better defensemen out there, man. I'm telling you.
What if I just want to play with you and then go watch you on Twitch?
That sounded really, really gay.
Oh.
Like incredibly gay.
Alright. Actually, I got a first round pick for you, Heater.
Playmaker.
You know, no, fuck the T-News, man, or DJ Treason. Best two players I've ever seen in my life. They're solid. Solid.
Well, I'm going to take everything
or
you
you
say
could always
with a
get
grain of salt, so.
I played with Treason before. He's not bad. Not bad.
So careful in this situation. You get the football
Who was the other guy?
T-News.
Who?
T-News. Most reaction.
Don't know.
Oh, bullshit. Bullshit.
Nasty, do you know Danks?
Yeah.
And Nasty, he wasn't really here during the whole T-News thing, so he wouldn't really know the inside joke on that.
Okay. Alright, T-News. No offense to T-News, but you're not. In my opinion, he's not a top three round draft pick. But he went first overall by DJ Treason. Do you know who DJ Treason is? Yeah, you do. You said that. He's a good player, but he has no brains. He has no brains. He's a defense and took another defense in the first overall pick.
I'm gonna go. I got 3 defensemen on my team right now. I'm gonna go with another defenseman.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, definitely.
What team were you?
New York.
I want to play New York right now.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
No, but seriously, like I said, this game you have to draft defense and goalies. Then
Well,
worry about your goalies in the later rounds.
We have 2 defense, and we're drafting. That's why we were debating drafting defense.
The
We think we're gonna go forward.
scoring offense is a dime a freaking dozen, dude. Stopping defense and puck stopping goalie, those you got to go with those.
We already have those. Our goalie is, in my opinion, he's the best in LG, AHL, and he's the best in NOG so far on the sign-up list. But he's yeah, and then you got Forfeit Canine, aka Ekblad or Lidstrom, and then Barrett, Bad News Barrett. He's good too. They're both solid D, play really well, both stay home D. And Barrett can honestly put more moves out there than me as a defenseman. And we rotate very good together. But I gotta say, Squid, Lou, Barrett, Forfeit Canine on SA Reflex, and myself is the best signings I've ever seen in this league so far. But yeah, that is kind of cocky.
I thought Reflex was going to LA.
What?
I thought Reflex was going to LA.
No. Kong actually, no offense to you, Kong, but Kong messaged Squid and Reflex, and then they both were going to me from the start.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think about my signings? Do you guys know any of those guys?
Can you name them again, please?
Strictly Gator, Strictly Hattie, Shadowlack, Lacara, and Midnight.
Wait, the core is 22?
Yeah.
Holy shit, how many hitting defensemen do you need?
You ever see Shadowlack play?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got Shadowlack and Lacara, me, Hattie, Midnight, and Gator.
I don't really know the other 3, but I know you're a good hitting defenseman, and Lacora shot me down actually in XHL. But it was the first for everything. He was on my side, and he probably hit me 15 to 20 times.
Yeah.
But then he also got a lot of charging penalties too. Because this game fucks you over.
Well, in XOHL, I have 58 hits as a defenseman, and I only have 2 penalties.
This is off topic, but trade for me in XOHL.
What's that?
Trade for me in XOHL.
Yeah.
I told my. But Mike, you've seen all the signings for almost all the teams, haven't you?
No, I haven't really paid attention, man. I'm not gonna lie.
What about you, Neil? You looked at all signings for every team?
Bro.
Yeah, I've been looking at the signings. I don't know. I've looked at some of them.
Do you think most teams did the right thing by signing who they signed, like positional wise?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. LA's going to screw themselves. LA.
Wait. Who's going to screw themselves?
What's that?
LA?
Yeah, they're going to screw themselves.
Why is that?
If I'm not mistaken, they signed, they threw a contract to Yeti and Terrible Guy. They always go together.
Well, I'm pretty sure they signed Barely Jewish and the Collector. which Bailey Drew, she's a lefty, Collector's a left wing, and I don't know who Yeti is.
Yeah. Yeti's one of the top 10 left wingers or right wingers in the game. But he does a lot of wraparounds that are legal that are going to be illegal in this league.
Oh my God.
I've never even heard of Yeti, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. I actually originally was going to sign a contract to him, and I was going to give a contract to Terrible Guy, but I backed out because immature. I can't deal with that stuff. I want mature people.
Yeah. Mike, do you have anything you want to add or talk about?
Batter's done.
I'm looking over the signings right now. One of the ones that stands out to me is San Jose's signing of Bull.
Of who?
Bull, 64.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Played with him a lot in the IHL. He's probably one of the best defensemen I've ever played with.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. Everyone's signing defense, and like everyone said, that's the most important position. Because like you said, it's a dime a dozen for forwards. Defense is key. Defense is key. It's not better said that way, but you also need forwards that can put the puck in the net. Not every forward can beat good defense. You need good forwards that'll beat the good defense.
Right, and I mean, San Jose also got give me a Brewski. He's decent. I'm just looking at some of the people that I know.
Who's San Jose owner?
Rockstar.
Oh, is it really?
Yep.
He's been in the league for a while. He played for DJ Treason, if I'm not mistaken, and LA. He played for Kong in the first season.
He's a good friend of mine. I game with him a lot.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
But let's see.
And Neil left the call.
Buff Sniper to Washington, Puckin' Nuts to Washington.
That's Buff Sniper's team. It's the same old team every year, so it's not a big worry.
Right.
They have a good roster, but when it comes down to playoffs, Buff he just can't control his team.
Trying to think. Trying to look over these real quick. There's 5 pages worth, so I'm just kind of scrolling through names I recognize. You guys weren't the only ones who were after Squid.
Nope. I'm pretty sure Kong went after Squid and 2 other people. Evo, yeah. Evo actually went after a great defenseman that Evo's actually trying to go over. Not to spoil it for you, but he's Super Trooper.
Yeah.
Yeah, Evo's been harassing him about that.
Supreme Trooper?
Yeah. Yep, my bad. Supreme Trooper. Yeah, he's a solid defense, but...
Yeah, they Winnipeg offered him a contract too.
Yeah, you saw it. He's going in the first round of the draft. I guarantee it. But Stamkos is the best defenseman in the draft after the signings. I see him hitting.
He's playing defense this season?
Well, he's signing for goalie, but he plays defense. I know he does. I talked to him about it.
He plays goalie. Any league I've ever seen him in, he plays goalie.
No, he plays in LG's defense. And I talked to him about it, asking him if he wanted to come to Nashville. I'm not gonna lie. He's not. He's just getting into it though. He said he didn't even know the game times. He didn't even know he was signed up in the league.
So yes, I mean there's a couple of signings that stand out to me. I mean a lot of the guys going to San Jose, I know. So I don't know. So that's probably because Rockstar and I know pretty much the same people.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a great season. A lot of new faces, that's what I like. But there's a lot of same faces. I'm glad people are staying with it.
Right. I mean that's what you look for in a league, right?
Exactly. Like LG, you see new faces all the time. But then you also see a lot of people who quit LG.
Alright, let's not talk ill will of our bigger cousins, please.
My bad. Sorry, Cobra. How's your game going, buddy? Did you win?
We're winning 3-2 right now. I like playing for this team. This
Yo,
we got good solid guys here.
tell Soldier Astic I said hi.
What?
Isn't Soldier
All right.
Astic your goalie?
Yeah. He's actually playing right now. To be honest.
Yeah, me and him go way back. So tell him I said hi.
I will. All right. Are we about ready to wrap this podcast up?
Yes, we are. Alright, wait, what was the argument?
Oh,
Fuck you, Speedy.
we're winning 4-2 now. All right. Everyone enjoy your night. Nasty, you're an idiot. Peace out, Sir Mike Knight.
Go down a bit.